here I am, a woman who used to be her own biggest hater, cringing it up on YouTube for all to see, declaring herself to be someone who not only takes beauty and glamour very seriously, but who wants to be a bombshell. I don't care if everyone I've ever met sees this, because I've come to realize that I do actually want to be seen. Hey bombshell! Today we're talking about something that has been weighing on my mind lately, and I know it's probably been weighing on yours too. You know that feeling when you see someone absolutely glowing with confidence? That magnetic energy that makes everyone just stop and stare? Well, here's a little secret. That could be you. Actually, scratch that. That should be you. In today's video, we're throwing out all the silly rules about being too much or toning it down, because guess what? You've just been granted full permission to be the absolute bombshell you were always meant to be. And no, this isn't about changing who you are, it's about unleashing who you have always been deep inside. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's talk about how to embrace your inner bombshell, because trust me, she has been waiting to come out and play. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Hayley, and on this channel we love to talk about glamour, beauty, and old Hollywood bombshells. So if that's something that you're interested in, then don't forget to subscribe for more content. Let's get into the video. Okay, so before deciding to fully become a bombshell, let's break down what I mean by bombshell, because I'm talking about a whole lot more than just Victoria's Secret. Bombshellism, as I like to call it, is a feminine lifestyle filled with self-expression, creativity, glamour, and a touch of drama. Bombshells live in their own little world. I like to think of the bombshell as a more adult version of the Disney princess. She lives with her head in the clouds, dreaming, constantly delusional, and living out her manifestations like it's magic. A bombshell knows that life is too short to dim her light. She understands that being too much is exactly what makes her extraordinary. She's the main character of her own story, and she's not afraid to take up space, to be seen, to be heard, and most importantly, to be herself. She's an eccentric, one-of-a-kind beauty who cares deeply about personal style and gains constant inspiration from vintage glamour, art, and her favorite movies. See Bombshell required reading Dita Von Teese's Your Beauty Mark, or watch my video on the book to get the gist of it. I will link that up above. The bombshell understands that beauty is an art form, and she's not afraid to study it, practice it, and take it seriously. She believes in the transformative power of a perfectly applied red lipstick or an incredible outfit. A bombshell understands that she is her own masterpiece, constantly evolving and being refined. She sees herself as a living, breathing work of art, from the way she carries herself to the environment she creates around her. Every single choice that she makes, from her morning routine to her evening rituals, is a very intentional brushstroke on the canvas of her life. She doesn't just exist, she creates herself anew every single day. Her life is her greatest creative project, and she approaches it with the dedication of an artist in a studio. If she's arranging flowers in her apartment, or crafting a really specific playlist for her morning, or choosing which perfume best matches her mood for the day, each moment is an opportunity for artistic expression. And this isn't about being perfect, it's about being very intentional with your life. It's about treating yourself as worthy of the same care as a precious piece of art. The bombshell has mastered the art of living, and she lives by her own playbook. Nobody can infiltrate the world she has created for herself, unless invited in, of course. The bombshell wholeheartedly believes in her fantasies. She lets herself dream and performs on the stage of life. Even if her bracelet is cheap, she will wear it like it's Cartier. She has such a powerful mind that she doesn't need diamonds to feel like $1 million. The bombshell is so comfortable with herself and her body, she isn't afraid to display it, and she enjoys being in it. And not in an intimidating way, but in a way that makes other people feel comfortable around her, because she is just so comfortable in herself. She is also never boring, because she never gets bored. She finds everyday occurrences absolutely thrilling. She has this infectious joie de vivre, and she makes life so interesting and fun, and she's so magnetic to be around for that reason. So how does this apply to me, you might ask? Why on earth would I be a bombshell? I don't have the time for all of this. I have a very boring life. I don't have the money to be glamorous all the time. Well, let me tell you something. Being a bombshell isn't about having unlimited time or money. It's about cultivating a mindset, an attitude, a way of seeing yourself and the world. Even the smallest moments can be transformed into something magical when you approach them with intention and creativity. And the best part, you can start exactly where you are with what you have right now. Here's the thing about bombshells. They know that glamour doesn't require designer labels or expensive procedures. It requires creativity, self-expression, and most importantly, attitude. Maybe you can't afford silk pajamas, but you can create a luxurious morning routine with your favorite tea in your prettiest mug. Maybe you don't have time for a full vintage hair set, but you can perfect your signature red lip or master the art of a quick, elegant updo that could quickly become your signature hairstyle. So let's now address some of the common objections I hear when it comes to embracing your inner bombshell. So Hayley, I'm not confident enough to be a bombshell. Remember, confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you cultivate. It's a practice, right? Every single bombshell started somewhere. And the secret is that acting confident eventually leads to feeling confident. And here's the amazing thing. Once you start acting with confidence, people respond differently to you. They pick up on that energy. That self-assured vibe that you're putting out creates this beautiful, positive feedback loop. Suddenly, you find yourself naturally embodying that bombshell energy that you've been cultivating. Think about it. When was the last time someone truly confident walked into a room and you thought, ugh, they're too confident, they're too much? Most likely, you were drawn to their energy, fascinated by their presence. You probably admired them. That's the power of embracing your inner bombshell. It's not just transformative for you, it's magnetic to others. And here's another secret. That confidence doesn't have to be perfect or unshakable all the time. Even the most radiant bombshells have their moments of doubt. The difference is they've learned to acknowledge those feelings without letting them dim their sparkle. Let's take a look at one of my favorite examples of this, Norma Jean Baker's transformation into Marilyn Monroe. Before she was the iconic blonde bombshell, Marilyn was a shy, soft-spoken girl who really struggled with confidence, but she created this alter ego, the glamorous and sensual Marilyn Monroe. And she gradually became the character that she had envisioned for herself. This wasn't just her changing her hair color or the way she dressed. She studied movement, voice modulation, and she practiced her signature walk until it became second nature. She once famously said, "I used to think as I looked out on the Hollywood night, there must be thousands of girls sitting alone like me, dreaming of being a movie star. But I'm not going to worry about them. I'm dreaming the hardest." Similarly, Rita Hayworth transformed herself from Margarita Carmen Cancino into the sultry redhead that captured America's imagination. She underwent a dramatic makeover, but more importantly, she developed a persona that allowed her to tap into her most confident self when she needed it the most. Take Dita Von Teese, for example. Before she became the queen of burlesque, she was Heather Sweet, a small-town girl from Michigan who worked at a lingerie store and was just fascinated by the glamour of vintage fashion and old Hollywood. Instead of waiting for permission or the right moment, she started creating her signature look piece by piece. She taught herself vintage hairstyling, and she studied the art of burlesque and the history of burlesque. What's remarkable about Dita's transformation isn't just the physical aspects, it's how she created an entire world around her aesthetic. She didn't just wear vintage clothes, she immersed herself in vintage living. From her home decor to her daily rituals, everything became part of her artistic expression. She often speaks about how this transformation wasn't about becoming someone else, but more authentically herself. She wanted to become the most authentic version of who she truly was inside. She once said, "I've always dressed for myself, not for others." And I think this perfectly encapsulates the bombshell mindset. It's about pleasing yourself first, about creating beauty and magic in your life because it brings you joy, not because you're seeking approval from other people. When you truly embody yourself and your innermost fantasies, confidence can often follow. Confidence comes from knowing who you are and embracing who you are. So if that takes changing your hair color or your name to bring out that self-assuredness, then by all means, do it. The lesson here isn't about completely changing yourself, but you can understand and create a version of yourself that embodies your highest potential. Think of it as having a character that you can step into when you need that extra boost of confidence. Your inner bombshell is already there. She's just waiting for you to give her permission to sparkle in the light. But Hayley, I'm too busy with work. I'm too busy with my life. I'm too busy to think about these kind of things. Okay, so being a bombshell isn't about spending hours on elaborate routines. You just find small moments in your life to inject daily bombshellisms and glamour into it. Think about it. Even the busiest person can take a few extra minutes to select a beautiful outfit, apply their signature lipstick, or create a lovely morning ritual with their coffee. It's about quality over quantity, about making each and every moment count. The bombshell knows that glamour does not require endless free time. It's about bringing intention and beauty to the time you do actually have, and focusing on the magic and whimsy and all the things that fill your head with excitement when you allow yourself to dream. And maybe that looks like playing your favorite vintage jazz while answering emails, or wearing your most luxurious perfume while running errands. These small touches can transform even the most mundane moments into something really special. The key is to start small and be really consistent. Maybe you begin by dedicating just 10 minutes every morning to a beauty ritual that makes you feel special, or by creating a designated glamour hour one evening a week. As you start to experience joy in these small moments, you'll naturally find more opportunities to weave the bombshell magic into your daily life. I like to listen to Frank Sinatra or Elvis on the record player to get me in a glamorous mood, and I always do so by wearing one of my prized possessions, my glamorous robes that I wear in these videos. This single clothing item completely changes my energy. I feel just immediately when I put it on that I am firmly planted in my own little world, and the possibilities are endless. Music has this incredible power as well to just transport us to a different era and mindset. It's like having a time machine at your fingertips. Creating these little pockets of glamour throughout the day, whether it's through music or clothing or your rituals, it just helps build that bombshell energy very naturally and effortlessly. So I promise you, you do have time to be a bombshell. You're with yourself everywhere you go, so why not be a bombshell in those places? You can be a bombshell at the office, in the shower, or at the shops. You don't have to attend galas regularly to embrace glamour and bombshellism. The beauty of being a bombshell is that it's a state of mind that travels with you wherever you go. Whether you're picking up your morning coffee or attending a business meeting, that inner radiance and self-assured energy remains constant. Remember, it's your world. Your perception of the world is what completely shapes your experience of it. So you might as well click-clack your way through it in a pair of heels and a really nicely fitted outfit. And when you start living life with that bombshell energy, you'll find that the universe has a way of rising to meet you. Your confidence becomes contagious. Your self-expression inspires others, and suddenly those little moments of glamour you've created begin to multiply. It's all about embracing your own unique brand of magic and letting it shine through in everything you do. Being too busy is not an excuse. You can choose to have moments of glamour or not. It's that simple. But Hayley, I'm afraid of what other people might think. Here's the truth. People who truly matter will just celebrate your self-expression. And those who don't matter, well, They're not part of your bombshell universe anyway. Let's talk about this fear for a moment. It's completely natural, but it shouldn't hold you back from expressing your true self. Think about the most memorable people you know. They probably didn't get like that by dimming their light or just trying to blend in. When you start embracing your bombshell energy, you'll find that most people are actually drawn to authentic self-expression, even if it's different from their own style. Remember, some of the most iconic bombshells throughout history faced criticism and judgment, but they stayed true to their vision. When you radiate confidence and authenticity, you create a force field of positive energy that just naturally deflects negativity. The people who matter will be inspired by your courage to fully express yourself. So let's address the elephant in the room. Society often has a complex relationship with glamorous and confident women. There's an unfortunate tendency to dismiss them as shallow or high maintenance or attention seeking. This criticism often comes from a place of discomfort with women who dare to just fully embrace their beauty and power without apology. But here's the thing, a true bombshell doesn't let these judgments affect her. She understands that other people's negative reactions usually just stem from their own insecurities or societal conditioning. When you choose to embrace your glamorous side, you're not just doing it for yourself. You're also challenging these outdated notions and paving the way for other women to express themselves freely. Remember, there is nothing shallow about investing in yourself and choosing to present yourself to the world in a way that makes you feel powerful and alive. It's your life at the end of the day, and it's not that serious. Think about some of the most iconic bombshells throughout history. They weren't all the exact same, right? Marilyn Monroe had curves, but Audrey Hepburn was petite. Dorothy Dandridge had this sultry elegance, and Mae West had this bold wit. Each one brought their own unique qualities to the table. The beauty of being a bombshell is not about fitting into like this premeditated mold. It's about owning whatever makes you distinctly you and just amplifying that with confidence. And if you're still worried about what others might think, please remember that I am right there with you. Here I am, a woman who used to be her own biggest hater, cringing it up on YouTube for all to see, declaring herself to be someone who not only takes beauty and glamour very seriously, but who wants to be a bombshell. The truth is, I don't care if everyone I've ever met sees this, because I've come to realize that I do actually want to be seen. And that always comes with criticism, but it's so much better than hiding. Trust me. Oh, but Hayley, I don't look like a typical bombshell, okay? There is no such thing as a typical bombshell. Every bombshell is unique, and that's exactly what makes them so magical. Your uniqueness is your superpower. And when you're young and naive, that just sounds like cringy nonsense. But as you get older, you start to realize that it's actually true. Unique beauty is always amplified in glamour. Think about Dita Von Teese's lily white skin and her black hair. In the 90s, with the tanned, blonde, Sports Illustrated model look being in, Dita Von Teese's look was the complete opposite. But she had found her glamour and what made her feel alive, and she chose to look at women like Betty Page as her aesthetic inspiration. So if you feel like your look is just not glamorous, I must tell you, you are simply wrong. Glamour is about creation, so if there is something you feel compelled to change about yourself, just go ahead and do it. Be creative, experiment, try different makeup looks and styles, and get inspiration from different eras and different glamorous women whose looks you admire. But don't go calling yourself ugly, okay? I have been there, and believe me, giving up on yourself like that will be a huge regret when you look back on your life and see yourself constantly just sitting on the sidelines because you thought you didn't deserve to participate in the game. Do you know that Sophia Loren herself was called unattractive? And this was while she was young and not famous too, so imagine that stopped her from pursuing her dreams. And this criticism would go on throughout her life, even though she is widely considered to be one of the most beautiful women of all time. Do you see how bizarre that is? Do you think the people calling her unattractive were themselves the most beautiful people of all time? Sophia just simply refused to listen to those people who told her she needed surgery. She was stubborn, and she won in the end. The next time someone tries to tell you that you don't fit the bombshell mold, remember that true glamour comes from owning your unique features and carrying yourself with unshakable confidence, like Sophia Loren. Your individual beauty is what will make you stand out in a world of cookie-cutter standards. The bombshell completely floats above beauty standards. She knows she is in her own lane. As Dita Von Teese once said, you could be the juiciest, ripest peach in the world, but there will always be someone who doesn't like peaches. Mwah! So here's your final permission slip, signed and sealed with a kiss. You are officially allowed to be the bombshell you've always dreamed of being. No more waiting, no more doubting, no more dimming your light. The world needs your unique brand of magic, and it's time to let it shine in all its glory. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments which bombshell you think most represents your brand of bombshellism. As for mine, I can't decide on just one, but that's a story for another day. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Mwah!